Day 2 of our LV Game of the Week at Headingley saw Sussex keep in touch with the champions Yorkshire, who added only 10 runs to their first day total of 241 for 7. The second new ball immediately worked well for the relegation-threatened visitors, with Steve McGoffin using it to have Tim Bresnan caught by Chris Jordan after 9 runs had been added. 5 balls later and Jordan was celebrating again, this time by prizing out Jack Brooks, who nicked to Michael Yardy, playing for the final time in his career. That wicket gave Sussex a third and final bowling point, one that edged them closer to First Division survival. It took the visitors only 32 balls to finish off Yorkshire's innings, McGoffin deservedly bagging his 4th wicket to finish with figures of 4 for 57. Liam Plunkett the man out for 5 as he chipped to Ed Joyce. It was McGoffin's spell after lunch on the previous day which had kept Sussex in this match just when the hosts were threatening to pull clear, but the last bonus point they accrued meant that Yorkshire now had a record points tally for a season. They had to settle for a final score of 251, but they then soon had Sussex in some trouble. Brooks grabbed his 60th wicket of this championship campaign by having Joyce taken behind with just a couple of runs to his name. And 2 balls later, Sussex were on 3 for 2. The surprise decision to open the batting with Jordan failing as he gave Ryan Sidebottom his usual start to an innings with the ball, the bowler completing the dismissal by himself. Matt Machin decided to respond by going on the attack. He took Brooks for 3 fours in an over and struck 5 boundaries overall in a 27-ball stay that brought the left-hander 26 of the 35 runs on the board. But he then became the latest batsman to fall to the Brooks-Bairstow combination, the bowler maintaining his remarkable form at this famous cricket ground. These were worrying times for Sussex, who could ill afford to fall too far behind their hosts. They started this match needing 9 points to ensure that they will be playing their cricket in the First Division again next summer. They needed as many as they could get with the bat and hoped that Hampshire slipped up in their search for bonus points at Trent Bridge. Luke Wright and Chris Nash added 33 runs to the total, only for the latter to fall for 16 as the morning's flurry of wickets continued, with an edge to Bairstow off Bresnan, who was into the 3rd over of his spell. And it was 70 for 5 for the visitors when Wright perished at the start of the next over. Plunkett's first couple of overs had gone for 17 runs, but he now had Wright well held by Alex Lees in the slips for 21. The visitors then seeing out the remaining time before lunch, which was taken with them 172 runs behind on 79 for 5. Just as had happened on the first day, the early part of the afternoon session belonged to the visiting team as Ben Brown and Yardy at last began to establish a partnership. Since announcing his retirement at the end of this campaign, Yardy has found a rich vein of form, scoring hundreds in both of his final 2 matches at Hove, including one against this opposition. And once again he was becoming a nuisance as far as Yorkshire were concerned. They, of course, were looking to become the first county to win 11 games since the championship was split into 2 divisions back in the year 2000. Brown was really pushing along, striking a 4 and a 6 off successive Bresnan balls when he was then out for 39, shoveling the ball to Sidebottom at long leg to end a flourishing 6-wicket stand, which had brought Sussex 64 runs in only 8.5 overs. Brown's runs being made off just 29 deliveries. Sussex were seemingly in a rush to secure as many batting bonus points as they could, and they were helped by the fact that, all of a sudden, the home attack, so impressive all summer long, were for once not at their best. That allowed Ashar Zaidi to pick up from where Brown had left off as he tucked into the bowling. Yardy did the same to Plunkett as Sussex started to look like they may be the team to earn a first innings lead. The left-hander was playing a crucial innings for his team again, he being a man who would love his last achievement as a professional cricketer to keep his beloved county out of the relegation zone. His 3rd successive boundary took him to another 50, this one being made off just 56 deliveries, 10 of which had brought the 34-year-old 4s. While he may not have received the kind of applause he got in recent matches at Hove, his efforts were still appreciated by a good home support. Yardy is, after all, a player greatly admired right across the country. He'd added another 53 runs in 9 overs with Zaidi, who, having got to a run of ball 26, was LBW to Adil Rashid in the leg spinner's second over of the match. The batsman departed with his side on 187 for 7. And Sussex were 8 down just 1 run later as McGoffin was out for a golden duck. Bairstow with his 4th catch of the day to give Plunkett, who was at times expensive, his 2nd wicket. Sussex were now in danger of missing out on even a single batting point, but who else but Yardy took them beyond 200 in partnership with Lewis Hatchett, who picked an ideal time to produce one of the better innings of his career. Another 23 runs were added to the total by these two, Yardy moving on to 70, when he dragged on a ball from Brooks, another who was a little costly in spite of his tally of 3 wickets now in this innings. Yardy must be getting used to the warm applause he's been receiving of late when heading back to the pavilion. The runs for the visitors had come at a very good rate throughout, and it was only now, when last man Chris Liddle and Hatchett searched for every single run, that things slowed down a tad. The final pair needed 39 runs to earn their side what could yet turn out to be a crucial second batting bonus point, and they got mighty close to achieving that. The total had got to 248 when Hatchett on 25 tried to go big off Adam Lyth but got a thick edge, which was well pouched by the running Bresnan. The news was not so good now either from Nottingham, where Hampshire were fighting back really well. So as the players came out for the final session, Yorkshire had a first innings of only 3, and there was still all to play for, even more so when Lees was out for a golden duck, Jordan with the kind of catch that he could probably take with his eyes closed. The evening session of 26 overs had very little action. Lyth batted for 100 minutes without hitting a single boundary in his 71 ball 16, while Gary Ballance maintained the form he showed in the first innings by adding an unbeaten 39 to his first day 55. These two former England men knew that survival was important. All batsmen on this surface having to work hard for their runs. After play, Brooks talked about his side's latest record.
Yeah, the lads are obviously chuffed to bits with all these little mini targets we've had as a team coming after we won the league. We need to keep things to keep us motivated. And obviously the next one is quite a big one with getting the 11th win of the season, which is winning this game. So that's the next key one. So the next 2 days are going to be pretty big for us.
Yes, they will. Yorkshire will start the second half of this match on 55 for 1 in their second innings, and that has them at 58 runs to the good.